What is good, everybody? So this is part 1 of 2 of the ramp mini-series. In this first video, we are going to head into the forest and talk all about ramps. Things we'll cover include how to sustainably forage ramps, where they come from, how they like to grow, etc. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. Greetings from my vehicle. It's early spring here in Chicago, which is definitely a celebratory time for all. I mean, surviving the Siberian winter, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. However, times are especially special in the culinary community because early spring marks the beginning of ramp foraging season, which is fleeting to say the least. Ramps are hyper-seasonal and only available from first thaw to when the trees first start to bud. After that, they peace until next spring, so you have to wait a whole year. Ramps have their own unique distinct flavor, which you kind of have to experience to understand, but a good way to describe them would be a cross between a super funky onion and garlic. So a ramp's got leaves and a bulb. The leaves are to be treated like greens, and the bulb is sort of to be treated like any other sort of onion. Actually, a pretty cool fun fact, the city of Chicago got its name for the Native American word for ramp. So yeah, our city is named after an onion, which I'm totally about. So to acquire these suckers, we are going to drive out of the city up north to the forest and meet up with a cook buddy of mine. From there, we'll poke around and hopefully come across a patch of these mows. Then after foraging, we will come back to my place here in the city where I will show you how to clean, store, and prepare our bounty. All right, let's go. Okay, we have finally arrived to nondescript forest number 452. I believe that's footage of a hawk. Pretty rad. Let's get to ramping. Now off to find my buddy Jason. He's somewhere in these woods. Yep, there he is. That's Jason. Jason is a badass cook that's worked at some pretty incredible world-renowned kitchens. He also loves ramps.
What's up?
One question that's often asked is, why are chefs so obsessed with ramps? Well, to quote Chef Abra Barons, ramps are sort of a cult vegetable. I think it's a mixture of the fact that they're wild, you gotta go out and forage them, that their season is fleeting, and that, at least here in colder climates, it's a sure sign that spring has arrived. Spring is a big deal because with it comes loads of fresh produce that was not available all winter long, and quality produce makes cooks, professional or not, giddy.
When their leaves, you see this, when you see them slumping over, they're too big to carry their own weight. They tend to be just fully developed real nice.
Tight. So look for the slumpers.
Yes.
So how and where do ramps grow? Ramps are native to North America and grow wild in forests from Minnesota to Maine and as far south as Georgia. Now let's forage a few.
Just kind of getting under there. Just trying not to tear up the whole roots and stuff.
Make sure to bring a small garden spade or a shovel and something to store your ramps in before you leave the house. So this is a mature ramp. Ramps have as many as 2 to 3 long green leaves and grow to about 6 to 8 inches tall. The green leaves turn maroon as the stalk sinks into the ground. The bottom bulb is generally, bulbous and white with little roots at the end similar to a scallion. The bulb is also protected by a thin, slimy membrane that needs to be removed before cooking, which we will cover later. First off, when foraging for ramps, make sure that you're not foraging on land where it could be illegal. Look, I'm not a plant lawyer here, so as long as you forage responsibly, we're straight, but it's also not me you need to worry about. Just do your research and don't be dumb. Nobody needs a $500 ticket for picking wild onions. Different foragers have different guidelines, but in my research, I've found that a great rule of thumb is to leave 40% of each cluster. And yes, ramps grow in clusters or bunches. Not sure if ramp flowers or flowers that grow by ramps, but aren't those gorgy? So, for example, if you dig up a cluster of 10 ramps, replant 4 of these smaller bulbs for the next generation. Ramps take a super long time to regenerate, so do your part to make sure that everyone can continue to enjoy these little beauts. I mean, this is nuts. Literally, as far as the eye can see, these are all, there's some not ramps in here, but these are all ramps. Wild. Crazy. Insane! You might be thinking to yourself, why can't we just grow these ourselves? Well, you can, but it's not easy. For starters, a freshly planted ramp seed won't produce a full-grown ramp for about 5 to 7 years, and even the bulb takes about 3 to 5 years to sprout up. Not to mention, I've also read that they, quote, don't play well with others and often boot out other plants trying to grow near it, but, don't quote me on that because I am no botanist. Clearly. You can, smell the garlic through the dirt. So we're gonna go home and we're gonna wash all these up, and I'll show you how I cook them. Lots of people speculate as to the exact timing of ramp season. Some say it's from April/March to early June, while others claim it's only 2 to 3 weeks long. A great rule to ramp by is to harvest from first thaw to when the trees really start to begin to bud. Ramp City, population 2.
Just so dope when fire-ass nature things happen in Chicago.
I know,
Never
dude.
happens.
Straight up. All right, bag secured. Time to say peace to the homie, and let's head back to my crib. We made it back. It's getting a little dark. You should smell my car right now. My car reeks of like this oniony, funky garlic ramp smell. So let's get these out of here and in there, and I'll show you guys how I like to whip these up. All right, so I really don't mean to leave you hanging like that, but part 2 is to be continued. In part 2 of the video, we are going to cook with the ramps that we foraged in this video. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next week. Ta-ta.